I couldn't wait any longer, son. I need to feel you. The tension thickens and the camera captures the longing in their eyes. She moves closer, pressing her body against his, her breath hitching with anticipation. We have to be quick. Mom, what are you doing here? She steps closer, her presence magnetic. We have to be quick, son, before they catch us. The door creaks open slightly, and she glances back, ensuring no one is watching. Her eyes glint with mischief and desire as she slips inside, closing the door quietly behind her. What if someone sees us? Let them. What are you doing? I murmured, but the words came out weak, breathless. She didn't answer, just took a slow, deliberate step forward, the sway of her hips sending a ripple of heat through me. Her gaze never left mine as she crossed the room, closing the distance between us inch by agonizing inch. Do you really want to know? She whispered, and I saw the corner of her mouth curve into a dangerous smile. The way she looked at me made the air feel thick, charged. I should have been alarmed, should have told her to stop, but I couldn't move, could barely breathe. Then she was right in front of me, so close that I could feel the warmth of her body, smell the faint hint of perfume that clung to her skin. Slowly she reached out, her fingertips grazing my cheek, and I felt my heart stutter in my chest. Tell me to leave, she breathed, her thumb brushing over my lips, lingering there. Tell me to go, and I will. I tried to say something, anything, but the words wouldn't come. I could only stare at her, mesmerized, as she leaned in, her lips so close to mine I could feel her breath, warm, sweet, fanning against my mouth. I thought so, she murmured softly, and then with a sigh that sounded almost resigned, she closed the last few inches between us. The first touch of her lips was like a spark, setting off a chain reaction inside me. I froze, every muscle tensing, but when she kissed me again, harder this time, something inside me snapped. Before I knew what I was doing, my hands were in her hair, pulling her closer, and I was kissing her back with a hunger I hadn't known I possessed. God, I've wanted this, she gasped against my mouth, her hand sliding up to tangle in my hair, holding me to her as if afraid I would pull away. Wanted you. A shudder ran through me at her words, and I tightened my grip, crushing her to me as if I could somehow get closer. Her body molded to mine, soft and warm, and I felt something hot and dark coil low in my stomach. Mom, I breathed, the word breaking on a moan as she bit down on my lower lip, her nails raking lightly down my neck. Sure, she murmured, her tongue flicking out to soothe the sting. Don't talk, just feel. And then she was kissing me again, fierce and desperate, her hands roaming over my shoulders, my chest slipping under the hem of my shirt to splay across my bare skin. Every touch sent a jolt of pleasure through me, making me dizzy, and I couldn't help the way I arched into her, craving more, needing more. Someone could see us, I managed, even as I pulled her closer, my fingers digging into her waist. Let them, she whispered, and there was something wild, reckless, in her eyes as she looked at me. Let them watch, I don't care. Then her mouth was on mine again, hot and demanding, and I felt myself giving in, giving up, the last shreds of resistance crumbling away. Nothing mattered but her taste, her touch, the way her body moved against mine, sending sparks of pleasure dancing along my skin. We don't have much time, she murmured against my lips, her fingers working at the buttons of my shirt with quick, practiced movements. We have to be quick before they catch us. But there was nothing quick or hurried about the way she touched me, the way her hand slid over my chest, tracing every line, every curve as if memorizing the feel of me. I shuddered as her nails scraped lightly over my skin, my breath hitching as she leaned in, her mouth brushing against my neck. Please, she breathed, the word a soft, desperate plea, touch me. Something inside me snapped at her words, and before I knew what I was doing, I had her pinned against the wall, my hands roaming over her body, mapping every inch of her. She gasped, her head falling back, and I took the opportunity to press my lips to her throat, savoring the way she trembled beneath me. Tell me to stop, I murmured against her skin, my breath hot on her neck. Tell me to stop, and I will. But she only moaned, her hands tangling in my hair, pulling me closer. Don't you dare, she whispered, and there was a raw, desperate edge to her voice that made something dark and dangerous flare inside me. We were moving then, a mess of tangled limbs and frantic kisses, and somehow we ended up on the bed, her body pressing against mine in a way that made my head spin. I couldn't think, couldn't breathe, could only feel, every nerve ending on fire as she arched into me, her lips trailing over my neck, my chest leaving a trail of heat in their wake. Faster, she urged breathlessly, her fingers fumbling with the buttons of my jeans. We have to be quick. But despite her words, there was nothing quick about the way she kissed me, slow and deep, her hands exploring every inch of me as if trying to memorize every detail. I could feel her trembling against me, her breath coming in short, ragged bursts, and I knew I should stop, should pull away, but I couldn't. I was lost in the feel of her, the taste of her, the way she looked at me with those dark, hungry eyes. "Mom," I gasped, my hand sliding up to cup her face, my thumb brushing lightly over her lips. "We can't." "Sure," she murmured, leaning in to press a soft, lingering kiss to the corner of my mouth. "Just let go." And then she was kissing me again, harder this time, more insistent, and I knew deep down that there was no going back, because some lines once crossed can never be uncrossed, and some desires once awakened can never be extinguished.